Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Happy Friday. Hey, Badir, how are you? What's up, Joe? Hey, Travis. Well, here we are. Uh, you can tell you look at how many people are on stream and it's like, oh, it's very few. I think people are a little shocked and worn out about yesterday. Unfortunately, you guys haven't seen anything yet. uh, hey, Trademaker, how you doing? The drop. Okay. I'm going to try and explain something, and I hope I'm able to do it. Um, do you guys remember in August I said things are going to get a little weird, right? Well, the largest day we've ever had Mother Truck is a 500 point day, right? Yesterday was what, 200 and something points, 240 points. So we've got there's hey, Port Jeff in the house. Oh my God. You know, I made the mistake of Googling a couple of people I used to work with in Port Jeff. Not a good idea. I was very upset when I saw what had happened to them. Uh, anyway, I'll get to that later. Okay, do you guys know what an agenda is? And I know this is going to sound very esoteric, but you guys, if you're going to trade, right, you got to realize that this is a business. And there are people in this business who do things on time, and then there are people in this business who wait till the last minute. Okay? So agenda is basically when you have when you enter into business, right? When you enter into a business, you have an agenda, right? When we take a company public, what's our agenda? My agenda is to sell stock to the public, right? When you when you take a company, or the old days they used to say you used to float a company, you would take it public, right? That's why they call the float the floating supply. You take that and you throw it out there and you try and get people to buy it. And you create a chart and you bring people in. Now, that's one of the agendas. Now, the people who work in this business, right, they have an agenda. Their agenda, see, when traders start on desks, they make a certain amount of money as a salary, but nobody ever works for the salary because you don't want people who work for a salary. You want people who work for performance because they're going to perform. So some of them do, some of them don't, just like in life, just like you traders. Some of you guys are profitable, some of you guys aren't. Now, when you work in the hedge fund industry and these large speculative capital pools, you have an agenda. So the big traders, the smart ones, they've made their money already. They're probably going to take December off, right? Where's Cisco? Is he around? Cisco's profitable. Yesterday or the day before, he said, you know what? I think I'm done for the year, right? He doesn't have to work for the rest of the year, right? If you've made good money this year, the last thing, hey, aloha, how's it? The last thing you want to do is F it all up and give back the money, right? So you just relax with your family. Now, there are traders who haven't made money or who've had a bad quarter or who have had a bad year, and they have to make that up at the end of the year. So they do things I cannot talk about. Because number one, it's going to confuse the holy living crap out of you because you have no idea what I'm talking about. So there's no use in me even talking about it. It's not going to help your retail trading. But they are going to do things, and those things are going to cause waves. And sometimes, do you know when you drop big rocks into a puddle of water, you create a big splash, and that's what's going on right now. There is movement in the markets, and I warned you guys that these markets were going to be like this going into Thanksgiving and going into the end of the year because there are some people who haven't had a good year and they have to make it up before the end of the year. Otherwise, you're fired or you're looked down upon, right? I warned you guys that this was going to happen, right? I've explained about thin markets and I've explained about all of this stuff. But what you have to understand is, and I don't mean to be rude, but you can't trade like a dumbass, okay? You have to have your risk is the only thing that matters right now, okay? You can't have stars in your eyes thinking that you're going to make all of this money and blah, 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 and everything is hunky-dory. That's just delusional. We're in this cost basis here, okay? The top of it is 67.88, the bottom is 65.47. And we have been going back and forth in it, okay? Since October. Now, if we break out of it this way or break out of it this way, then we've got some big change. This is all speculative trading. I'm just going to get rid of these lines for a second. Does anything strange when you guys look at this chart? Now I know even if you're not used to TPO charts, do you guys notice anything kind of different about this than a regular stock chart? What I'm trying to do with these discussions, folks, is I'm trying to crack open your brains and make you think. Okay? But I don't want you to think like somebody who stands in line to buy an iPhone. I want you guys to think like somebody who sells the iPhone and makes millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm trying to change your mindset from the mindset of the sucker who walks into the casino to the guy who owns the casino. Okay? The ranges are massive. The ranges are absolutely massive. This is not how normal markets work, right? So the ranges are huge. You have gaps. That's not consistent with investment money. There is no investment going on in the ES. Do you guys know the difference between investment and speculation? You do? Okay. The ES is a speculative instrument. So is Bitcoin, right? All of these things are speculative. ES, oil, these are all speculative markets. And now you have massive amounts of speculative capital in these markets, right? You have to have a hedge fund with $1 billion is not a big thing now, right? $1 billion is not what it used to be. There are three guys sitting with Patagonia vests in a loft space in New York right now who are probably managing $600-700 million. Okay, so there is a lot of money, and these people are pushing price around, right? Why are they doing it? Because they have an agenda and they need to make their investors money before the end of the year. Otherwise, the investor will move the money to somebody who will make money. You guys understand that, right? It's not like a government job where you can just sit and not do anything all day, right? And stamp things. Like you have to perform, right? So if your performance is not up, you're gone. You're a dinosaur. You're fired. You're broke. You're unemployable, right? It's a very, very unforgiving business. What all this means for you guys going into the end of the year, anyone who has had a good year and made money, for the love of God, don't blow yourselves up, okay? If you have to stop trading, right? For those of you who don't know how to trade, for those of you who are learning how to trade, and that's the majority of people who are listening right now, right? Spend some time and watch and learn, okay? The information that you learn, and if you are able to actually crack your head open and let some information come into it, you are going to learn so much if you don't if you get that where's the trade idea out of your head. If you get that out of your head right now, you'll be a lot better off. Now, I don't even want to know how many people blew up yesterday trying to buy the dip, right? I told you guys 7 hours before the open that the target was 65.47 and a half last night. Didn't I? Right? Like old football players would say, go check the tape, right? I told you guys where we were going, right? Just like I told people that MSTR would come down and it would hit that level, it hit it yesterday, right? It's not rocket science, right? So yesterday, what was our low, right? 65. We got close to 47 half, right? So we're at a big balance, and now overnight inventory is long above it. Okay, so for the love of, please don't do stupid things today. Today is Friday. The common thing is people who lost money yesterday will try and make it back today. I would severely think twice about doing that if I were you, because what we want to do is we want to make sure that this market stays above that 65.47 area, right? Size size shorts, you want acceptance underneath that. Size longs, you want acceptance above that. Now, because we have all of this inventory above 65.47, it's going to take some time to clean out. This market might not go up until December, if at all. Okay? But let's put some perspective into this. Go look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart's really not that bad. We haven't even come back into this cost basis here that we had before we had the dip and then back down, right? So we haven't come down to 63, 64, right? This is still a 4-week inventory correction. And everyone is just scared out of their minds, right? So the weekly chart, yeah, it's a pullback. Is it the end of the world? Are we trading at 4,800? Are we trading at 4,800? We're not, right? Does your IRA look like an elephant walked all over it? Yes, it does. Right? It's a pullback. It's an inventory correction. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. They have to reset the cost basis quickly before the end of the year so they can have a little bit of markup and show some profits at the end of the year. You can't do that when the ES is at 7,000. You can't push it from 7 to 8,000. You got to break it down, buy it back up, and rip it up again. Very important. Okay? So don't lose your heads. Remember, if you're an investor, you have a longer time frame. If you're a trader, you just got to smarten up. Okay? And if you haven't been listening to me for the last 5 years, or if you've been ignoring what I say and just keep blowing up accounts, now's the time to listen. Right? You should not be blowing up accounts. That's not how normal business works. Right? You shouldn't be losing money like it's going out of style. That's not how normal business works. Okay? There's obviously something very wrong if you're blowing up accounts and you're losing money. Right? And what that means is you just don't know what you're doing. Right? So we're coming down now. Inventory was long. Right? The point of control is up here. And when that point of control is up there, right, you're going to have a little liquidation to try and find the bid, right? We'll be looking for, there's the overnight low, there's the previous day low. Do you notice that the previous day low, N period and O period closed lower? You guys notice that? N and O period closed lower, right? But we took that all of this inventory and we went and sold it. So that's normal market action. Had we been in panic selling, we would be down here at 6,400 already. Globex would have opened and just boom, cratered, right? Let's go check out 47.5 again and see if it holds into the London Open, right? So just chill, spend some time learning. This is a great time to review charts, watch liquidations. You know, I've got a bit of a cold, so you'll have to excuse the way I sound. Sound a bit like Donald Duck. So we took that stop in K. Right, J period did nothing. K period is correcting inventory. J or K usually correct inventory. And let's see. Somebody said yesterday that 42% of the time London opens and goes lower. Let's see if that happens today. Right? I haven't taken a trade at all yet. We've got a big balance zone between 69 and 79. VWAP's at 74. We're under VWAP. If we hold 47.5, and if we hold yesterday's low, look for the market to go sideways here for a bit because all of the inventory is above 69, right? You can see it. Now, people are asking what's inventory? Well, you know this is a market, right? This is an ES market, so we have an inventory of goods. The inventory are ES contracts, right? Look, nice bid at 59. Nice bid. Let's see if that holds. This is a really, really good time for you guys to learn the business. Oh, sure. We're going to go back and forth here for a bit. Yes, a liquidation and a pullback are the same thing. Okay. I use the word inventory correction. So there's different kinds of selling, right? There's different kinds of liquidation. There can be a liquidation or a pullback to correct inventory, and there can be a liquidation to because we have a change in the market that has, like say if they raise interest rates, or say if Apple has accounting fraud, or if the $13 trillion at BlackRock suddenly vanishes into thin air. Oh, jeez, I shouldn't even say that out loud. Right? That is a material change that will affect the markets harshly. You'll probably see 1,000-point correction. So because the ranges are larger, the market makers are subject to something called net capital requirements. You guys don't know what that means. But really, all it means is the market makers have a certain amount of money to put to every instrument. They have a certain amount of money for their entire firm. This is called net capital, right? So they have to spread that net cap over a larger range. So they can't buy 5,000 contracts at every tick. That's why the ranges are larger, and the speculators understand that. So smart traders will take advantage of larger ranges and sometimes show a little size and hit markets lower, right? And when you have selling begets selling, like we had yesterday, and when everybody's trading on margin, it's very easy to get a 200-point day like we had yesterday because this whole thing just falls apart like a cheap suit, right? So beware of that. What do we do? That's why we have to do the same thing every day. We have to do the same thing every day. Why? So you have a set way of doing business. And when that set way of doing business does not present itself, you do not put money at risk. Now, everybody will say that I'm overcautious, but I've never blown up a trading account, ever, right? Sometimes I might sit and do nothing for months, but I'd rather have that than go to a client and tell them, oh, I lost all your money, right? I don't execute unless I'm 100%. I respect the money that I trade, and you guys, if you don't respect the money in this market, dear God, they're going to take it away from you faster than you can blink. So just be smart about things, folks, okay? Manage your risk. Come learn with us at the Trading Syndicate. We have the new AI trading coach, and I strongly suggest that you guys team up if you're looking for, if you're if you're a bit more serious about it and you want some private coaching, I am taking people on, right? I do lifetime mentoring, if you're a little bit more serious about your trading, we have all sorts of different options for you. But the main thing is that you learn what to do and then you learn when not to do anything, right? That's the big thing. Did I take the short yesterday? No. In fact, I wasn't feeling good. I took a nap. I woke up and the market was like down like 75 points. I was like, Jesus. right? It was brutal. I woke up and I'm like, oh God, what do you do? And I was like, oh, okay, we're going back to 47. So right now we're getting some bids at 52, 53. Now, I'm going to teach you short sellers something. When a market sells off like this, right? It's sideways, sells, big green candle, and then they sell into it. You've heard of selling the rip, right? So selling the rip means you hit it here, you sell here, and you put your stop here. Now you've got to be really, really sharp to do that. Because if you enter your sale at the wrong place, you're going to get wicked out or twicked out or whatever you guys call it. But what is happening is the sellers come in, they let it breathe, the shorts come in so they can sell at a higher price, and then they hammer it again and they do it again. And then if there is no big buy order, it'll just kind of go sideways for a little bit. There are buy orders down here because that's where the shorts are bid to cover. Okay? And this is the same in every market. So you'll see these patterns happening, right? This is the business behind the pattern. If you understand the business behind the pattern, you're going to trade it better because instead of like just blindly following a pattern, you are going to understand why a pattern exists. Then you'll have some situational awareness. Let's see. Okay, London's opening. Let's see if London can take out yesterday's low. See you, Jerry. Have a good one, brother. We'll check in later, brother. Sorry, just got to get rid of this cold. Sniffling like crazy. My whole building, when you live in an apartment building, one person gets a cold and everyone gets it. It's brutal. Uh, let's see. Where's the bid? Okay, there's a 54 bid. So we do the same thing. You can still take look below and fails when the market kind of calms down a little bit, right? I hope you weren't trying for the look below and fail when we were liquidating yesterday. You guys should know better than that. Okay? Kind of slow. No trade yet for me. Hey, Harris, what's up? Yeah, what do customers do when they want to get a deal, right? They leave the store. Make the salesperson chase you out the door. Go, wait, wait, my friend, come back. Do I have a deal for you? It's just business. Random trade setups equals no money. They're very good, Cisco. Uh, just be really, really eyes in the back of your head this next week. Now remember, and I'm going to say this over and over again because nobody ever listens to me. Um, it's funny because I was I was talking to someone yesterday and they were asking me questions like, "Wait, you knew this 3 weeks ago. Why do you not know it now?" Right? Think about it, folks. You got to really, really think about these things. Go over it over and over and over again. My videos, I would suggest new traders don't watch a video once because there's a lot of information in there. Watch my videos at least 10 times each. I know that sounds egotistical, but I make them for you and I give you guys information that you're not going to get anywhere else in those videos. So watch them over and over and over again because you don't understand what's going on. The more you watch the video, the repetition will be good for you. Now watch the offer. Right? I could tell by the questions people ask that they don't listen, right? It's very obvious who's listening and who's not listening, right? And I'm not trying to be disparaging. I'm just trying to say we live in a society where you're groomed to have a 30-second attention span. So if you're long here and we take out 62, you'll be looking for around 64, 64 and a half. That's where the next sellers will be, right? Exactly. But here, take notes and use the pause button. People's attention spans. Are you listening? Not really, but you're trying. That's okay. You'll get there. Problem is, Harris, you're listening to too many things instead of focusing on just one thing. Harris, what you should do is just do a 1 minute candle chart, draw a straight line, and watch how the market works for hours and not look at anything else. And you should not at all even think about taking trades. Right? If I've never taken first year anatomy, would you let me do neurosurgery? No. I'd maybe be lucky if I was able to mop up the operating room. But just pay attention. Oh, thanks, Cisco. I'm sure Queens Medical Center would really love that, eh? Yeah, of course you want to press the button. Everybody does. You guys want it. Where's my money? Where's my free money? The kid on YouTube said I would have a Lamborghini by Christmas, right? Uh, it also helps if you have a sense of humor when you're in this business. Okay. All right, so we found some bids here. We're going to stay inside the overnight range and inside yesterday's range for now. Okay. If you're still long, you're looking for 69. There should be some selling as we come into this area here. If you want to short, wait till we do a look above and fail of 69 because they're going to try and tag VWAP, okay? Just so you know, there's VWAP tag. You're it. Now, if everybody's really short, it'll rip VWAP and go to 79. There should be a seller somewhere in the tall grass here, right behind the grassy knoll. Look at that. They got somebody really short. Somebody's really, really short. You see that? We went through VWAP like it wasn't even there, right? Front run VWAP likely. What happens? No front run, Cisco. No front run. That means somebody got trapped. The big candles mean big orders. Big candle means big order comes into the market, all the offers move, the book is thin, right? That's why I said don't short 69 just for the hell of it. Wait till it gets back underneath that. If it doesn't, well, then there was no trade, right? Unusual, right, Dave? Very good, brother. Very good. We're right back at cost basis. There should be some traffic here that we run into. If there isn't, that means somebody got really short, right? So we just had a 52 to 75 point rip in 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6, 7 minutes, right? Short 74, covered 72 and 3/4, right? Just a quick little tap of that. They're going to try and sell as much as they can above VWAP. When buyers run out, it'll come underneath 72. If enough people have shorted a market at the lows, that's why you get those big rips. That's why you get those big rips. Okay? That's what happens. Short 74 again, covering 72 on 3 micros. And I'm just trading very, very cautiously because I'm not really feeling that great. So I don't want to make stupid mistakes. Just take the trades that make sense. Get what I mean? Just take the trades that make sense. There's no reason to try and be a hero. Nobody notices. I took the short because I saw that candle, the next candle, the next candle, so I saw the sellers moving down. Okay? For traders who are not consistently profitable, that is a bit of a more dangerous trade because you guys execute slow. Okay, so you want to see a seller under VWAP, number one. The best trade would be a look above and fail of 69 back to 64. Those 5 points would be good. No, you don't want to be a hero, Moran. A hero ain't nothing but a sandwich, as they say in Canada. You never want to be first in the market. Let the really rich people go first. I have learned that over and over and over again. You don't need to be first. You just need to grab a little chunk. Distribution now. So that's unusual for me. I didn't catch the long, but I'm not really on top of it as much as I should be today. So where's our cost basis? Right? The mini cost basis is right here. That's that where we got all that liquidating inventory and we're selling it right back. I often enter trades too early and get stopped out. It's a bad habit, but habits can be changed if we work on them. And now this is distribution. You'll notice that the candles are smaller, right? If we take out 77, you're looking for 79. Your upper stops are here at 80 and 82 half. Exactly. That's a good point, Dave. Thank you. Losing focus can be an issue when you get in too early because when you get in too early, you get stopped out or the trade doesn't work and you get flustered. And when you get flustered, you lose focus. Right? Very good point, Dave. Right? I think, and I'm a firm believer, that we should use trading psychology before we lose all our money. Isn't that a novel idea? I don't think trading psychology is worth anything after you've blown up an account. If you're blown up an account, it means that you don't know what you're doing. There's no amount of psychology that's going to make you profitable. What did I say 15 minutes ago, Harris? What did I tell you to do? Were you listening? You're asking me now, what are the key things to focus on? Told you to focus on one thing. Just one thing, not things. One. It's no arguing. That's it. That's your life, my friend. Welcome to the wonderful world of finance. You are going to be focusing on that red line for the rest of your financial career. So if you wish to accept this assignment, as they say in Mission Impossible, all you do is just watch that 1 minute candle chart and you watch how the offer moves up and down. That's all you need to do, my friend. And forget about everything else for now. And just sit and watch. And you're going to be bored and you're going to go, why is this Malaka not telling me how? He's not making my dreams come true. Right? This is the tough part. You got to sit and you got to focus. Now, you're a neurosurgeon, so dear God, you should have no trouble focusing. Okay? Well, if you want James Bond, maybe you should choose another profession like acting. Dude, you're already a neurosurgeon. You're kind of at the top of the food chain. Now he wants to be James Bond. Listen, I gotta laugh. This market's nuts, okay? If you don't have a sense of humor in this business, you will have a heart attack much younger. It's okay. We'll fly him down to Australia, Dave. Or we'll fly you up to Hull. Uh, nice work, Rhino. Good stuff. Good stuff. Uh, you spent all this time going to medical school, becoming a neurosurgeon, just to walk in and say, I quit. You guys are crazy. Too much. Okay. Just distribution here, right? Our inventories, if we drew, here, this will help you visualize. If we drew a volume profile from that top to that bottom, you'd see that there's a chunk of volume here, right? Watch. See, the market starts liquidating, right? There's a little chunk of volume there at 69, right? And then we liquidate, come down under 59, and then we start building out that volume. Look at that volume at 54. Look at that chunk of volume at 65.54, right? That's our cost basis. Then we take that cost basis and then we distributed it at 72. Now nobody wants to buy it anymore, so now it's going to come back down to this 64 area. Yeah. You don't want to get your adrenaline rush from trading, Harris. That is a huge mistake. Trading is a business. It's not bungee jumping. If you want an adrenaline rush, take up kickboxing, cage fighting, you know, some kind of extreme sport. Do not try and get an adrenaline rush from trading. You are going to be a sucker, right? Those are the malakas who lose all their money, and we eat them for food. People who come into the market looking for an adrenaline rush, for us they are food because they're all idiots, right? They're looking for an adrenaline rush. Don't be that person. Be a disciplined business person. So if you're looking for an adrenaline rush, you are going to lose your ass in this business. Don't even get into it. Just trying to warn you. From like, you will spend years, right? You will spend years losing money. I've seen it. I've seen doctors lose hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to trade because they're seeking that adrenaline rush, right? I've seen people lose so much money because of that, millions of dollars. It is a fool's game. I'm looking for 64 on the downside. I'm short 68 and no, I'm short 67 and a half. And I'm covering the 63s. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. ES. That's what I was looking for. Remember, I called it out. Look above, fail. Short, stop, cover. Why 64? Well, just because there's a big chunk of volume. So I thought there'd be a bid here. The bid's actually at 62, so I was 2 points off, Moran. You'll have to forgive me. I've got a cold and I'm trading with one eye right now. So I'm not as accurate as I usually am. Okay? Ugh. So I always look for bids. You guys call them high volume lymph nodes. I call them position, right? So where there's a chunk of volume, there's usually a position. And when it hits 64, that's my level, so I'll take some back. How do you stay calm in crazy charts? How do you stick with your trading plan in such situations? Shri, uh, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Sri Nikresh? I'm sorry. Um, how do I stay calm? Well, first of all, you guys have never even seen Srini? Okay, cool. You guys have never seen like real volatility. This is nothing what we're seeing now, right? Also, I'm used to an environment where I used to do 200 trades a day for my clients. So from 1994 to 2012, I did at least 200 trades a day, making markets, distributing stock, doing all sorts of things, right? So I work in an environment, I was trained in an environment where people were constantly screaming at me. So let me describe a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Trading. Knight's got a 50,000 bid at 3 3/4. Go get it now, 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 now. Hit the speed dial. Knight picks up the phone. I got 50,000 for sale at 370. Done. Filled. All the while I'm doing that call, my client is on the other end of this phone, and excuse the bad language, screaming at the top of his lungs. And now you understand that that was about a 20, 30-second interaction. And my client is screaming, and excuse the language, JJ, where's my fucking fill? Where's my fucking fill? Get it done, get it done, get it done. That's what we do, and that's what we used to say that we eat stress for breakfast, right? And the saying when we started trading, because we were taught by people who grew up in were in the business in the 70s and 80s, the saying on Wall Street was that you better be ready, you get up and you come into work ready to bite the ass off a bear. So you're going to war in a financial market every day. And people are screaming at you constantly. You're screaming at other people, okay? Because there's a sense of urgency that if you don't get stuff done in 10 to 30 seconds, you are useless and you are fired, and the only job you're going to get is sweeping the street. Do you guys kind of get the sense of urgency? So retail trading is nice and relaxing. For you guys, it's not relaxing because you don't know what the hell you're doing and the thing's jumping up and down all over the place. Does that make sense? Right? Does that kind of... That's why when I talk, I'm trying to instill a sense of urgency into you people to get, like, to not be asleep at the switch when you're trading, right? So as soon as you're in a trade and it starts going wrong, get rid of it, right? When you're in a bad trade, you might as well be running around holding a live grenade going do 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 do, just waiting it for it to blow your head off, right? There's no wokeness when there's that kind of money at risk, Harris. There's no wokeness in real business, right? It's okay for software developers and people sitting around in beanie hats, right? Eating avocado toast. That's beautiful. And I'm happy for them. But my world is a world of stress. And my world is a world of war. And my world is a world where you destroy the other people in front of you. No prisoners. If you want a friend, get a dog. Wokeness ETF, that's a good idea, Alexander. We're just going back and forth over 69. How do you handle holding good ones? You're a defense manufacturer? Exactly. There you go, Ryan. Right? This is nothing compared to what you deal with. You're dealing with the Defense Department, contractors, all sorts of shit that people don't even know. Excuse my language, right? I used to have a client who used to be in bomb disposal in the U.S. Army. And I remember once I made the mistake of telling him I'm kind of stressed out. And he just laughed at me. He said, "Boy, you don't even know what stress is," right? How do you stay in a good trade? You use your orders. So let me give you an example, Srin. Okay? Check this out. Say, for example, I go long here at 88. Okay? Just for example. I'm long 88. I know that there's going to be a seller at 72. Okay? So I will put my sell order, say I'm long 6 contracts, it'll be 2, 2, 2. And I'll have 3 sell orders for 2 contracts on the way up to 72. If the market takes this sell order and executes it, great. If it executes this sell order, great. But if it doesn't execute this sell order, I know I'm being front run and I have to get rid of my position. Because I'm long 68, I will hit 71 without even thinking about it. And I'll be gone. I do not wait for an excuse. I do not wait for an invitation to get rid of my inventory. I use my orders to tell me if the trade is working. If my orders are not getting executed, the trade is not working to what I think it is because the order flow has changed. Does that make sense? So pretend that you're selling apples and you have 6 apples for sale. You bought them for $1. You put 2 out at $1.30. You put 2 out at $1.50, and you put 2 out at $1.70 for sale. Somebody comes and buys the 2 at the first price and the second price, but nobody's buying them at the last highest price. What must you do? Are you going to hold on to those apples and wait until they go bad, or are you going to get rid of them at what price you can? Does that make sense? It's a market. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let people BS you with this R and you should do this and you should do that. Use your orders to tell you if your trade is working. Okay? It's simple. If you're short at 5, you put a bid at 450, you put a bid at 440, you put a bid at 430. And if those bids do not get filled, that means there's nothing for sale and you need to cover. Does that make sense? That's all there is to it. There is nothing more that you can do. Look below and fail of 69, but there is a seller at VWAP, right? Right? You use your sell orders and your buy orders to tell you if the trade is working. That's why you don't trail your stop. Because trailing your stop is for people who don't want any insight into the market. You have to get insight in the market. Of course, you've been focusing on RR than the market information to cover the trades. Of course, everybody does that when they first start out because all these idiots tell you that you should be focusing on RR so you have absolutely no situational awareness about what's going on around you, right? Take what the market gives you. Exactly. Exactly. And if you ever want to take your defense manufacturer public, I'm your guy. Don't forget me. Take what the market gives you, okay? That's what we have to do as business people. All right? Do you make money? Yes. Do you not make money? I didn't make money today. Okay. Did you lose a lot of money? No. Good. We start again tomorrow. That's it. I love a good defense deal. Yeah, sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time in this business, and that happens so often, right? Happens so often. Don't let these people overcomplicate this, right? Make sure, I want you people to get paid. I want you guys to get paid. You spend so much time. Yeah, get some sleep, brother. You spend so much time in front of these screens, time away from your families, time away from things that you enjoy doing, and you're sitting there and you're getting bombarded with bad information and stupid advice and bad knowledge from people who wouldn't know a trade desk if they tripped over one, right? I just want to make it simple for you guys, and I just want to make it that you can get in, make some money, and get the hell out of there before they realize that you're there, right? A good trader and a good dentist are the same thing. Nobody should even know that we were there, right? The work is done, except with a trader, the money's all gone, right? A good trader should be able to come into a market, take $5-10 million out of it, and nobody even know that he was there, right? That's trading, right? You and I are now retail traders, so our agenda is different. Is when the truck leaves the loading dock, we hitch a ride, and as soon as that truck is ready to stop, we get off before they realize that we were there. If you think about it that way, you will make money, you will not take stupid losses, you won't have bad business habits like FOMO and all of those things. Those are just excuses for no discipline, right? Blowing up an account is just an excuse that you don't know what you're doing and you have no discipline, right? It should not be cheered and right. You should be embarrassed if you're blowing up accounts, right? Now I'm going to get in trouble for that, but hey, somebody's got to tell you the truth, right? And that's another thing. Nobody tells you the truth. They're like, "Oh, you're being, you know, oh, you blew up your account. Oh, you're being transparent." Instead of going, "Hey, you should go figure out what the hell you're doing wrong," right? And that's not trading psychology. That's not going to help you. Learn the business. That'll help you. Exactly. Get in and get out. And in this market, Harris, now you're starting to make sense. In this market, don't go for the vault. Go for the cash drawers. There are a lot of banks. You can hit every bank down the street or every other bank. Do not go for the vault, especially if you have a small account and no skill. What's happening right now? Distribution, Moran. Distribution. And I have been talking longer than I should, and nobody stopped me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. Why'd you guys stop me? I've been prattling on for an extra 7 minutes. Okay, be good. My traders in North America, stateside, go to sleep. You can't trade half awake. Get some sleep. We'll see you guys at the open. Broken candlesticks. I love that. I love that name. We'll see you guys. Trade safe out there, okay? See you in a bit. Bye for now.